Hi, I'm Brianna Massetti, and I'm doing my artifact on the consequences of the Black Death in medieval times. The Black Death was a plague that wiped out a large percentage of the population during medieval times. It originated in Central Asia and quickly spread due to trade routes, some countries being more affected than others. Yersinia bacillus is the name of the bacteria that would infect the host, and it's commonly found in rodents and fleas. Yersinia bacillus took place in 3 different forms: bubonic, pneumonic, and septicemic. Bubonic killing 50% of the people it infected, while pneumonic and septicemic killed 100% of the people it infected. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is this important? Considering 30 to 60% of the population of Europe died from this infection, it left a huge influence on the culture, religion, economy, and society of Europe as a whole. The Black Death had a big effect on Europe culturally. Many buildings or churches stopped construction while art began to flourish. People feared not being recognized once they died, so they created burial sculptures and transient tombs as a way to identify themselves to their family. Art became very dominated by skeletons, skulls, or anything resembling the afterlife, and socially, people stopped talking to one another with fear of being infected. During this tough time, people turned to religion for protection and relief. Many people's prayers were not answered, which made them turn against the church. This caused religious leaders to flee due to fear, and an extreme religious group emerged called the Flagellants. They believed the plague was a sign from God, and they traveled throughout Europe, publicly lashing themselves with whips to try and repel the plague. Since such a large portion of the population died, it greatly changed Europe's economy. It created a shortage for workers so they could demand more money. Standard of living, consumer spending, and farmland quality increased. And lastly, there was multiple peasant revolts due to the labor shortage, which we will learn about more on the next slide. One of the biggest effects on the society occurred within the feudal system. In hierarchy, it was kings at the top, then nobles, knights, and peasants. It changed when the labor shortage occurred, and peasants realized they could demand more money for their work. Also, many houses and cities were abandoned, most likely from occupants dying. And lastly, the church and medical authorities were discredited when their attempts to heal the sick failed. These are the scholarly sources that I used, and I hope you guys enjoyed learning about the effects of the Black Death.